I can just recite along with me, you can be muted. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Sishyate Ishavasya Sarvam Kincha Jagatyam Jagat Vina Taktena Punjita Hitakasya Suddhanam. Sorry about this. Okay. So in the last class, there was one question mostly Soni Mataji asked, like, if somebody is born in a devotee family but he doesn't have intelligence to understand philosophy, what should he do, or something like that. So the like Prabhupada tells in the purport of 10.10 this thing. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but if he is not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engages himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. Yeah. So if he is engaging in services and if he is practicing Krishna consciousness, means like chanting and coming to association, etc. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. Yeah, if he has proper service attitude. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the acts of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him. Yeah. Means Lord will arrange that he advances. Okay, so today somebody wants to read. Um, Okay, Sharad Prabhu. Yes. Uh, you can read from here. Sorry, here in the material world.
Yes. Here in the material world, material nature forces the living entity to change his body due to his different desires for sense gratification. These desires are represented in the various species of life, from germs to the most perfected material bodies, those of Brahma and the demigods. All of these living entities have bodies composed of matter in different shapes. The intelligent man sees oneness not in the variety of the bodies, but in the spiritual identity. The spiritual spark, which is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is the same whether he is in the body of a horse or the body of a demigod. The living entity takes on different bodies according to its pious and vicious activities. The human body is highly developed and has full consciousness.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I'll explain it. So here there is one more point Prabhupada is making, which is important, is this. Yes, so there are different types of material bodies, like there are different types of dresses, available in a cloth shop, and a person can wear as per his purchase capacity. He can purchase, he will purchase accordingly. His So the same thing, like as per our pious karma, if we have the pious karma, then we can get the birth of, can get the body of a demigod or even Brahma. But if it is negative, or if we don't have that much pious karma, then one may get a human body or even less of lower species. In Bhagavad Gita, it is described like Urdhvam Gacchanti Sattvasta. If one is in goodness, then one may go to uh, Tapaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, where one can practice spiritual life better. And if one is Urdhvam Madhya Tishtanti Rajasa, if one is in passion, mode of passion, then he may stay in the human, in the earthly planets only. But the consciousness will degrade a bit. He will be more materialistic and all. And uddama Jaganna Guni Vittista Adogachanti Tamasa. Adogachanti means then he may the those who are in tamas, prominently in tamas, like whole life they are just lazy, they are sleeping most of the day and all, then they will go to lower species of life. Yeah, now Prabhupada is making this statement: the intelligent man sees oneness not in the variety of the bodies, but in the spiritual identity. Yeah. So oneness in the variety of bodies. Yeah. So it's not again like the Mayavadi concept, no, that all everything is Brahman, so everything is same only. Daridra Narayan Seva means even serving the poor is equal to serving the deities, etc. It's not like that. But spiritually means everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. But as per because of their previous activities, pious activities, vicious activities, they are in a particular body. And he respects everyone, but he deals everyone with everyone in a different way as per as per their condition. And he will try to bring everyone closer to Krishna in whatever way possible. So respect everyone so that he doesn't harm them, and he allows them to follow, means whatever the punishment or whatever their pious activities they are enjoying as per the arrangement of Prakriti, he doesn't interfere with it. So he does not kill cows or he does not kill animals for his own sense enjoyment, because they are put in a particular situation to suffer their karma. So that we should not disturb it. And same thing he will not so that he will not do, and he will see how they can also come closer to Krishna. Okay. Then Prabhupada is again making a point about qualifying about the human body. The human body is highly developed and has full consciousness. So what it means by highly developed? So there are five koshas. This is described in Taittiriya Upanishad. So the first kosha means generally Annamaya kosh. It is, if you see small children, they tend to eat everything. So their whole consciousness or their whole concept of happiness is to eat something, and they're always focused on that. Whatever they want to keep, that is Annamaya kosh. So, but when they grew up, so then they may tend to they identify more with, so Annamaya Kosh, one is identifying only with the mouth or some other senses also, but prominently with mouth. And in Pranamaya Kosh, one is identifying with the body. So they want to enjoy in teenage and all. So they want to play games, they want to have fun, and they want to have a good looking body. So that is more like Pranamaya Kosh. Then Manomai Kosh. So Manomai Kosh is with emotions. So they want to maybe want to have some romance or like these things, or they want to have very good friends, or they want to enjoy music. So this is more like emotional Manomai Kosh. So they are identifying. They seek happiness through emotions, and they are identifying with their emotions. And Vijnanamay Kosh is with intelligence. So one wants to learn something, philosophy they want to learn, and they seek happiness, means they want to know the meaning of life. So that is Vijnanamay Kosh. So this depends. Not everyone will come to that, but human being has this potential. Like we don't see a dog in the street, inquiring about the meaning of life and all, because in the lower species they have only till Manomai Kosh at most. Means they also have some emotions, but not every animal also. If you see a snake and a baby snake, they may not have any emotions with each other. The snake may even eat the baby snake. So that may be there. But if you see a cow and calf, they have emotions with each other. The mother cow licks the calf so that it will not get infected when it was newly born. So some emotions are involved, and the calf also goes to only his mother, his or her mother, no, but not every other cow. So they have some relationship. But this Vijnanamay Kosh and then Anandamay Kosh is experiencing the bliss of devotion or liberation. So these all are Anandamay Kosh. This human being has that potential, means he has that opportunity. Whereas in the lower species, they don't have these opportunities. So that way, human body is very highly developed and has full consciousness. That depends upon one's spiritual advancement. They will have consciousness till Manomykosh, but further it depends on their spiritual advancement. Okay. Pro, you can read from here according to Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, Prabhu. According to the Bhagavad Gita 7.19, the most perfect man surrenders unto the Lord after many, many lifetimes of culturing knowledge. The culture of knowledge reaches perfection only when the knower comes to the point of surrendering unto the Supreme Lord, Vasudeva. Otherwise, even after attaining knowledge of one's spiritual identity, if one does not come to the point of knowing that the living entities are eternal parts and parcels of the whole and can never become the whole, one has to fall down again into the material atmosphere. Indeed, one must fall down even if he has become one with the Brahma Jyoti.
Okay. Yeah, so there is self-realization and then there is God realization. So self-realization is not just sufficient. Yeah, with self-realization, one may understand that no, this is material world, this is miserable place. But one may not understand how he can become happy. He may have some understanding of how to counteract misery, but he may not have understanding of how to become happy. So because of that, he cannot be, means that is not a stable platform of just being self-realized. Like some Greek philosopher like Prabhupada also says about Socrates. Socrates is self-realized, but that is not sufficient. But one should be God-realized. So they may try to find happiness by doing some social service or by studying philosophy and all, but that will not actually make them happy fully. So they may again get into material activities of sense gratification. So, but if one is God realized, he experiences higher happiness. So, because of that, he will not be tempted by material sense gratification, etc. Hmm. Yes, bro, you can read as we have learned.
Yes. As we have learned from previous mantras, the Brahma Jyoti emanating from the transcendental body of the Lord is full of spiritual sparks that are individual entities with the full sense of existence. Sometimes these living entities want to enjoy their senses and therefore they are placed in the material world to become false lords under the dictation of the senses. The desire for lordship is the material disease of the living being. For under the spell of sense enjoyment, he transmigrates through the various bodies manifested in the material world. Becoming one with the Brahmajyoti does not represent mature knowledge. Only by surrendering unto the Lord completely and developing one's sense of spiritual service does one reach the highest perfectional stage.
Yeah. Okay. So So the desire for lordship means one wants to control so that one wants to enjoy. Mhm. So that's what one wants to control the body, means he wants to control that the body should not become old, the body should always remain young, the body should not become diseased, so that one can enjoy, continuously with the body. And one wants to control others so that they will satisfy their senses. A husband may wants to control all the family members so that they will give happiness to him. A child may wants to control others so that everyone will pamper him. In that way, there will be a conflict of interest. So that's why there is always quarrel and uh, problems in the world. Yeah. So, but service is one wants to be controlled. So one, it's not possible also to control all others. It may not be, even if one may be a very rich person or a prime minister or something, he cannot control, he can control a maybe large number of people, but he cannot control all the time. Prime minister also, he will be there for some time and then he has to again, someone else becomes prime minister. So that's why trying to find happiness through controlling others, through lording over others, or through lording over material elements, it it is not, you cannot, one cannot be happy fully. It will come with its own miseries and it will not give also complete happiness. Whereas serving others, serving the Lord, it is a, it is an eternal thing because Lord is eternal, and we also, when we are serving in a spiritual platform, that will also be eternal. So that will give eternal happiness. Okay. And as we studied in the maybe 1 2 verses back, that with Brahma Jyoti, there is only Sat feature of the Lord, but there is no Chit and Ananda. So that is also not a complete happiness. But in the Bhagavan feature, both Sat, Chit, Anand, all three elements we are able to experience. So in that way, it is a, from a rasa perspective, it is a more complete happiness. Okay, now yes, you can read this in this mantra.
In this mantra, the living entity prays to enter the spiritual kingdom of God after relinquishing his material body and material air. The devotee prays to the Lord to remember his activities and the sacrifices he has performed before his material body is turned into ashes. He makes this prayer as at the time of death, with full consciousness of his past deeds and of the ultimate goal. One who is completely under the rule of material nature remembers the heinous activities he performed during the existence of his material body, and consequently, he gets another material body after death. The Bhagavad Gita 8.6 confirms this truth. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam त्यज्जाति ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadatad bhava bhavita. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, the state he will attain without fail. Thus, the mind carries the living entities' propensities into the next life.
Can read,
Unlike,
continue.
unlike the simple animals who have no developed mind, the dying human being can remember the activities of his life like dreams at night. Therefore, his mind remains surcharged with material desires, and consequently, he cannot enter into the spiritual kingdom with a spiritual body. The devotees, however, develop a sense of love for Godhead by practicing devotional service to the Lord. Even if at the time of death a devotee does not remember his service to the Lord does not forget him. This prayer is given to remind the Lord of the devotee's sacrifices. But even if there is no such reminder, the Lord does not forget the service rendered by his pure devotee.
Okay, thank you. So now Prabhupada is talking about the second line of the shloka, Kratosmara, Om Kratosmara, that line. So even like for us also like devotees, it may appear little odd. One thing is, see this Ishopanishad, it is more for Jnana yogis and it's written keeping that kind of mind in audience. So a Jnana Mishra Bhakta, he may not have the understanding of the promise of the Lord, of the Sharanagati principle, that if one surrenders to the Lord, Lord will take care of everything. That those all things he may not be aware of it. So that's why he's praying in that way. He knows that Lord has the only power to grant liberation. But he he doesn't have that devotional understanding of Lord, that Lord actually wants him to be more liberated than he himself. So that is no, that kind of understanding is not there for a Jnana Mishra Bhakta. Okay. Yeah. One thing Prabhupada is saying, that what one does during the entire life, that only one remembers at the time of death. So sometimes some people may think like, no, I may do whole life sense gratification, and that last time I may try to remember Krishna at the time of death, but it doesn't happen like that. And sometimes some may think, okay, if I just think of Krishna and shoot myself, so then is it like that? No. When you're dying, you will not remember again. That remembrance, that has to spontaneously come. So that what spontaneously comes at the time of death is like what you did throughout your life. What was your main focus? What was your main desires? So that only comes. Yeah. Now, for animals and all, it is like their karma. Means they are not incurring karma in their life. They are suffering punishment. They are suffering for their sinful activities. So for them, this principle doesn't work. It's actually mainly for human beings because they have free will. So how they use it, the free will, that only influences their consciousness at the time of death. If somebody is too much attached to family, then they will only remember their family. Like if we can see in the case of Ajamil, he was remembering his family. And we can see in the case of Bharat Maharaj, because he was too much attached to deer, he remembered deer. So the devotees are word all of us. Yeah, for devotees, if they sincerely practice devotion service, then that remembrance of Lord will come. But in case if that remembrance is not strong, or if the devotional service is not that strong, they get because death is a very painful moment. A painful moment in two ways. That there is physical pain, and there is also that emotional pain of, we are losing things, means we are getting separated from the things, from our attachments, and they all are going to get frustrated. So if a devotee is not so spiritually advanced that he can forego all these pains and remember Lord, and he's not able to remember, because of that Lord remembers him. So that Krishna promises in Varah Puran, Vatadi doshena madbhakto mamna chasmaret. Because of Vata dosha and all, Vata and Kapha Pitta and all these things increase at the time of death. So because of that, if the devotee is not able to remember him, Aham smarami madbhakta nayami paramam. If my devotee is unable to remember me at the time of death because of disturbance felt within the body at the time of death, then I shall remember my devotee and take him back to my supreme abode. If we see like Bhishma Dev was lying in the battleground after the 10th day, when he got defeated. And so Krishna made it a point that because Bhishma Dev is one of Mahajans, and a very dear devotee of Krishna. So Krishna made it a point, once the war was over, when Bhishma Dev decided to, he has Ichha Mrityu, so when Bhishma Dev decided to leave his body, so Krishna made it a point to take the Pandavas along with him and went to Bhishma Dev. So fulfilled his desire, and because Krishna remembered Bhishma Dev at moment of death, he went. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you can read. The Lord clearly describes.
The Lord clearly describes his intimate relationship with his devotees in the Bhagavad Gita 9.30 to 34. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. O son of Pratha, those who take shelter in me, though they may be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchant, as well as Shudras, can attain the supreme destination. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Okay, yeah. So these are like translations of the verses from 9.30 to 34. So Krishna is saying that even if my devotee commits some sinful activities, but he is still devoted to me, then I love him. So it's like in the moon there are some pug marks, but we should not focus on those pug marks, but we should see on the beauty of the moon. So Krishna also focuses on the devotion of the devotees, not the external apparent sinful activities or something. Okay, so yeah, Prabhupada is going to further explain with Bhaktivinoda Thakur's explanation. So we can take around few minutes, and you can around 5 minutes you can take. So you can list some pastimes from Shastra where devotees who offended Lord are forgiven by the Lord, and list some more pastimes from Shastra where devotees who offended Lord are not forgiven. And then you can see why the devotees in case one are forgiven and case two they are not forgiven. Can take around 5 minutes, then we'll discuss.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I answer the question?
Yeah, yes, bro. First question you can answer.
First question is, what is the first question, Prabhuji?
Yeah, list some pastimes from Shastra where devotees who offended Lord are forgiven.
Indradev? Indradev
Indradev, is he forgiven? Okay.
was forgiven because he
Which
brought the
pastime?
Govardhan Leela.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll take from
Can I give
others.
one more example?
Yeah.
Brahma ji in Brahma Vimohan Leela.
Okay. Take care. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Yashraj bro, yes, you can take.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, Bhrigu Rishi.
We go which pastime?
Yeah. Prabhuji, when Bhrigu Rishi kicked on the chest of the Lord, at that time, the Lord forgive him. At that time, when he goes to take the test of all the three gods, who is the supreme.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Yeah. So okay. So for second one,
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you want to tell?
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, in the first question, I have one more example. Son-in-law of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya.
Yeah, in CC you'll find many, like Sachimata is there, and even that, of course, Rupa Goswami, and that lame Vaishnava. That is not described in CC, but yeah, that also. Okay. And yes, Srimati Vasudha Mataji, you want to answer for first one?
Krishna Prabhu. First question for Kalia Prabhu.
Yeah, yes, Kalia, very nice. Thank you.
Mm.
And okay, fine. Okay, for second one,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
yeah,
Chota Haridas Prabhuji.
Chota Haridas. Okay, yes, because he has to undergo the punishment. Okay, and yes, Srimati Vasudha Mataji, can tell.
Second question Prabhu. Durvasa Muni Prabhu.
Durvasa Muni in which one? In Ambarish Maharaj pastime.
Yes Prabhu.
Yes.
But he
Okay.
often devotee, but God not forgive
Yeah,
na Prabhu.
yes. Correct. Thank you.
Yes.
Uh,
Hare Krishna.
yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, yes. Yeah, there is also the pastime of Indra when he was like, when he killed Vrtrasur, so he had to bear the reactions of the offense. And in CC also, the example of Gopal Chappal is there, and Gopal Chakravarti, even Devanand Pandit also to some extent. Yes, thank you. Okay, now third question, anyone wants to answer? Why some devotees were forgiven and some instances they are not forgiven?
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Brahmaji was not forgiven because he separated his devotees from the Lord.
No, but
So
Brahmaji
then
were forgiven, na? You only gave that example in the
No, that
first.
was not correct, Prabhuji. Brahmaji was not forgiven. Then that is why Brahmaji took birth as a Haridas Thakur.
Okay, see, it will more fall in that thing, but when he was forgiven, because there is a instance also, because he seeks forgiveness. Okay, you have some another point?
That point, Jagai Madhai, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, so they were forgiven. Why they were forgiven? That is the question. Okay, Yashras bro, can you answer?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So who are forgiven by the Lord are those who have the mercy of the devotees.
Okay. Next.
Who have the mercy of devotees, and second, who have really repent for whatever they did.
Good. Yes.
So they have good intention So
Hmm.
that's why Lord forgive them.
Hmm.
And those who are not forgiven by the Lord
Hmm.
are those who have committed Vaishnava Aparadh.
Yeah. Yes. So it's a
Because
deliberately they did those things like Gopal Chappal and Indra also, because he knows that killing a pure devotee is wrong, but still he killed Vritrasur. So that's what. And the for first case, some of the things are happened accidentally, and yeah. In second case, they are like intentionally they did. Like Rupa Goswami, like no laughing at that line Vaishnava, it happened accidentally. It's not like it's pre-planned or something. So
Ashtavakra Muni.
Astavakra Muni, what is that?
Ah, the same sage at whom Srila Rupa Goswami laughed.
No, no, he's not Astavakra Muni. Astavakra Muni, it is with some other king. Uh, it,
Oh,
it is some Janaka or not Janaka, but yeah, there is another king. Astavakra Muni is not in Vrindavan, means I don't know. He's a lame Vaishnava, that much only.
yeah.
Yeah, Astavakra Muni is different. Okay, so now we will read this explanation of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Sharad Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, sir. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains these verses in this way. One should regard a devotee of Krishna to be on the right path of the saints, even though such a devotee may seem to be Sudurachar, a person of loose character. One should try to understand the real purport of the word Sudurachar. A conditioned soul has to act for double functions, namely for the maintenance of the body and again for self realization. Social status, mental development, cleanliness, austerity, nourishment, and the struggle for the existence are all for the maintenance of the body. The self-realization part of one's activities is executed in one's occupation as a devotee of the Lord, and one performs action in that connection also. One must perform these two different functions along parallel lines because a conditioned soul cannot give up the maintenance of his body. The proportion of activities for maintenance of the body decreases, however, in proportion to the increase in devotional service. As long as the proportion of devotional service does not come to the right point, there is a chance of an occasional exhibition of worldliness. But it should be noted that such worldliness cannot continue for long, because by the grace of the Lord, such imperfections will come to an end very shortly. Therefore, the path of devotional service is the only right path. If one is on the right path, even an occasional occurrence of worldliness does not hamper one in the advancement of self realization.
Okay, thank you. So the main point of that verse is the Suduracharo and Bhajate Ananyabhak. They both exist and they both happen simultaneously. So then only Lord considers that devotee as a devotee. If there is only Sudurachara, but there is no Bhajate Ananyabhak, so it then the Lord does not consider that kind of person as a devotee. So so this one way to understand, as Prabhupada explains in his purport. We'll discuss this in detail when we study in the 9th chapter. So there Prabhupada explains mostly about unintentional, accidental offenses and intentional offenses. So Lord, one way to understand this verse is accidental offenses. So the pug marks on the moon, it's temporary. Like when the moon becomes fully in Purnima, then the pug marks may not be visible. Yeah. So no, pug marks will be there, but sorry, that's not the right. So pug marks, but there is so Lord ignores that pug marks and sees only the brightness of the moon. So that example Prabhupada gives there. But another way which Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining is, so we have a worldly life and we have a devotional life. Every conditioned soul, who's every sadhaka devotee, they have a worldly life. Means they may be doing some occupation, they have a family, they have relatives, etc. and they have a devotional life. So in worldly life, as long as they are not sufficiently advanced, they may commit some mistakes, or they may spend, they may waste money, or they may misbehave with somebody, they may misunderstand somebody, or if somebody misunderstands them, then they may become very upset. So these things may come. Sometimes they may overreact. So these kind of things happen, and it because in ISKCON we have, like, Prabhupada strictly told about following the laws of the land, and following four regulative principles, and we should be simple hearted, we should not have any hypocrisy. So these things Prabhupada has told, and so the leaders in ISKCON, they ensure these things, and they give a lot of education and all. We don't get to see these things. But if you take example of Guha, it is told that he offered fish to Lord Ram, which means that he's also taking fish. So, but that Sudurachar or Durachar is there, but he has very advanced devotion to Lord Ram also. If you take Garuda example also, Garuda eats snakes, kills snakes, and eats snakes. But at the same time, he has very advanced devotion to Lord. So these are more examples of Bhajate Ananya Bhak and Sudurachar. I hope there are no questions on this. Okay. You can read now the facilities of devotional service.
The facilities of devotional service are denied the impersonalist because they are attached to the Brahmajyoti feature of the Lord. As suggested in the previous mantra, they cannot penetrate the Brahmajyoti because they do not believe in the personality of Godhead. Their business is mostly word jugglery and mental speculation. Consequently, the impersonalists pursue the fruitless labor, as confirmed in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 12.5.
Yeah, one thing is impersonalist, no, it's very difficult. See, being a person, it's very difficult to imagine something which is not a person, and to worship something which is not a person. So that's a labor. That's what Krishna says. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkam deha buddhir avapyate. So being in a body, imagining something which doesn't have any body, which does not have any form, it's a difficult thing. So that's why Prabhupada is calling it's a fruitless labor, and they're not getting like the full potential of the soul of experiencing such Chitananda of Bhagavan. So that's why Prabhupada is calling like that. It's a fruitless labor. Okay, you can continue. All the facilities suggested.
All the facilities suggested in this mantra can be easily obtained by the constant contact with the personal feature of the Absolute Truth. Devotional service to the Lord consists essentially of 9 transcendental activities. First, hearing about the Lord, glorifying the Lord, remembering the Lord, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, worshipping the Lord, offering prayers to the Lord, serving the Lord, enjoying friendly association with the Lord, and surrendering everything unto the Lord. These 9 principles of devotional service, taken all together or one by one, help a devotee remain constantly in touch with God. In this way, at the end of life, it is easy for the devotee to remember the Lord. By adopting only one of these 9 principles, the following renowned devotees of the Lord were able to achieve the highest perfection. First, by hearing of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, the hero of Srimad Bhagavatam, attained the desired result. Second, just by glorifying the Lord, Sukdev Goswami, the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, attained his perfection. Third, by praying to the Lord, Akrura attained the desired result. Fourth, by remembering the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj attained the desired result. Fifth, by worshipping the Lord, Prithu Maharaj attained perfection. Sixth, by serving the lotus feet of the Lord, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, attained perfection. 7. By rendering personal service to the Lord, Hanuman attained the desired result. 8. Through his friendship with the Lord, Arjuna attained the desired result. 9. By surrendering everything he had to the Lord, Maharaj Bali attained the desired result.
Yeah. So these are the 9 pros of devotional service: Shavanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So this is the 9 processes. There are 2 ways, like one may perform only one of them, or one may perform all of them. So there is example of also Ambarish Maharaj who performed all of them. There is a verse, na? Savai manah Krishna padara vindo vachamsi vaikunta gunanu varnane. So how he engaged different things in different things, in different limbs of his body in different things. He engaged his tongue in tasting tulsi. He engaged his hands in uh, embracing the Vaishnavas. He engages his legs in going to the temple. So like that, there is a description in Bhagavatam. And he is also given as an example of performing all these things. But there are 2 ways. One may perform only one thing. It's called Ekanga Bhakti. Or one may perform many things. All the 9 or more of them. It may be Anekanga Bhakti. But this one may do after attaining a particular level of advancement in devotional service. Then one may focus on only one thing. But in the beginning, one should learn. We are in a learning phase. So we need to learn about different angas of bhakti. We should know how to chant properly, how to hear properly, how to serve the devotees properly, how to do deity worship, different things. Then once one may come to some maturity in devotional service, one with some guidance and blessings of devotees, one may focus particularly on something. Like some senior devotees, they may focus on chanting more rounds, 32 rounds every day, 64 rounds. Like Buddhakesh Prabhu was there, he chants 128 rounds. So some may focus on some particular things, but others, they may have different. Like even if we see in the beginning in normal education, outside education, till 10th or till 12th, one may study many subjects, all subjects, because one has to get some general knowledge. And then when one has some maturity, then one may identify their own interest and they may pursue their interest further. So it is something like that. Okay, this will also be discussed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in NOD class. There it will be better. Okay, you can read actually the explanation of this mantra.
Actually, the explanation of this mantra and of practically all the mantras of the Vedic hymns is summarized in the Vedanta Sutra and properly explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the mature fruit of the Vedic tree of wisdom. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this particular mantra is explained in the questions and answers between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami at the very beginning of their meeting. Hearing and chanting of the science of God is the basic principle of devotional life. The complete Bhagavatam was heard by Maharaj Parikshit and chanted by Sukadeva Goswami. Maharaj Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva because Sukadeva was a greater spiritual master than any great yogi or transcendentalist of his time. Maharaj Parikshit's main question was, what is the duty of every man, especially at the time of death? Sukadeva Goswami answered, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagwan Ishwaro Hari Shrotavya Kirti Vyascha Smitavya Cheta. Everyone who desires to be free from all anxieties should always hear about, glorify and remember the personality of Godhead, who is the supreme dictator of everything, the extinguisher of all difficulties, and the super soul of all living entities.
So just a minute. Yeah. Okay. So here, if you see in this verse also, the devotee is in a difficulty because he's afraid what will happen to him at the time of death. The devotee or the Jnana Mishra Bhakta, he is afraid he wants to get liberated, but doesn't know whether he will get liberated and all. That's why he's fearful and he's praying to the Lord. Please remember, I have done so many pious activities. Please remember and make me take me to the path of liberation. Something ensure that I get liberated. Something like that. So, but Prabhupada is saying that in Bhagavatam this is answered. If you are always chanting, hearing, and remembering the Lord, then all fears, including the fear at the time of death, will be taken care by the Lord. Okay. Yes, you can read so-called humans.
So-called human society is generally engaged at night in sleeping and having sex, and during the daytime in earning as much money as possible, or else in shopping for family maintenance. People have very little time to talk about the personality of Godhead or to inquire about Him. They have dismissed God's existence in so many ways, primarily by declaring Him to be impersonal, that is, without sense perception. But in the Vedic literature, whether the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, or Srimad Bhagavatam, it is declared that the Lord is a sentient being and is supreme over all other living entities. His glorious activities are identical with himself. One should therefore not indulge in hearing and speaking of the rubbish activities of worldly politicians and so-called big men in society, but should mold his life in such a way that he can engage in godly activities without wasting a second. Sri Ishopanishad directs us towards such godly activities.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So if you see the colleagues in the company or some materialistic or non-devotee friends and all, they discuss these things. Yeah, one may be engaged at night in sleeping, or they are engaged in sleeping for a long time. Some may sleep very late night, some may sleep during the day and all. But and they talk about sex and all, or this. If you see, even in train, sometimes when you pass by the people by mistake, if you see the screen, they may be watching kinds of movies like some obscene movies or things like that. And daytime in earning money, so they discuss about where to invest money or how to get promotion, all these things, or how to avoid income tax. So these kind of things they discuss, or they want to see okay, which latest model mobile has come, or which latest clothes have come, all these things, or which new movie has come. So these are the things they discuss. So and the God, somewhere somebody say we don't care about God. Some say God doesn't exist. Yeah, some say God is impersonal, or some say everyone is God. So like that, they avoid God. So Prabhupada is telling us that one should avoid, one should therefore not indulge in hearing and speaking of these rubbish activities of worldly politicians and so-called big men in society. Yeah, but if you see the the current celebrities are these only, like the movie stars or politicians or the rich people, and everyone is looking about them only. So much coverage. Okay, what is happening, where they are going, whom they are marrying, all these things. So much thing. So what happened to them? All like they have become the center of life because everyone wants to become like them. But instead, one should make Krishna and his devotees center of life. And there is Bhagavatam, Ramayana, all these things talking about them. One should try to mold his life in such a way that he can engage in godly activities without wasting a second. It should no, we cannot do it overnight. It is not practical, and at this time we don't have that much strong desire also. So eventually, through practice of Krishna consciousness, one gets purified, and through association of devotees, one will get more and more inspiration. So gradually, one should spend more time in practicing Krishna consciousness and minimizing these other activities. Sometimes, for because we are staying in the world, we should be alert of what is happening in the world and all. So sometimes one may refer some news and all. That's okay. but one should be careful at that time also. Yes, you can read the last one.
Unless one is accustomed to devotional practice, what will he remember at the time of death when the body is dislocated? And how can he pray to the Almighty Lord to remember his sacrifices? Sacrifice means denying the interest of the senses. One has to learn this art by employing the senses in the service of the Lord during one's lifetime. One can utilize the result of such practice at the time of death.
Okay, yeah. So this is an important thing. Like sacrifice is needed means austerity. Like proper defies austerity is voluntary acceptance of a temporary inconvenience for a permanent benefit. So one has to learn this art by employing. So instead of engaging senses in sense gratification, one needs to engage it in the service of the Lord. So you can take again around 5 minutes. You can note down either on a paper, pen, or in your mobile or whatever. So some sacrifices that you are doing as a part of devotional service, as a routine, like maybe getting up early, like those things, different things. And you're doing those sacrifices, why you are doing, just you can think about them, so that you will again be, that determination to continue those sacrifices will be there. Means what they are getting, what benefit they are giving. Like getting up in Brahma Murta, it's a mode of goodness, auspicious. So like that, different things. And then you can also think about some more sacrifices which you can do or which you are planning to do, so that will make you can do more service, or you can do more sadhana, or which will help you to do more quality sadhana. You can write. Yeah. Okay, you can take around 5 minutes, then we will continue our discussion. Okay, Hare Krishna. So the first one, somebody wants to tell some general sacrifices we do. Okay. So anyone else? Yes. Srimati Vasudha Mataji, can tell. Okay, yes, Mataji. Srimati Vasudha Mataji, can tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah,
We
yes.
must avoid entertainment places, Prabhu.
Yeah, that is one sacrifice which is expected.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, maybe you can also tell what is the benefit of it. Maybe like that. It's not good.
Because we save time, Prabhu. We go, it's waste of time. No entertainment places,
Hmm.
not that much need for devotees.
Okay,
We
yes.
we will consume that time to some other activities like seva
Yeah.
or hearing Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. That is good. Na?
Yes. Thank you.
Then one more thing is we entertainment place. Childrens also will affect and they again they want some other places.
Okay.
So we should avoid that.
Yes. Thank you. Very relevant point. Okay. Yes, Raj Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So, sometime as we can see, our whole devotional process and our devotional lifestyle is a full of sacrifice and austerity, just like such as get up early in the morning, because in the normal people nobody wants to wake up early in the morning. We have to wake up early in the morning. It's beneficial because at the Brahma, when we wake up in the Brahma Muhurat, our chanting is good, will go good, and as we can see, sometimes some devotee is very determined in their 16 round, because in some time we are very busy in schedule. At that situation, still we are completed our 16 rounds, because I saw some devotees who completed their round because of seva. They completed their round till 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock, and next day they wake up early in the morning. So sometimes they sacrifice their sleep and all, just because of they have love towards, and they follow the order of spiritual master, and that will make their mind strong. And this is the, I believe this is the one of the way to express their love toward Lord.
Okay, yeah. So sticking to some principles now means okay. Vows and all. Okay, that is one thing. Uh, okay.
Prabhuji, can I answer?
Yes, bro.
Association of non-devotees. This is not to associate with the non-devotees.
Not to associate. Okay. How does it help?
Yeah, it helps in many ways. It helps in developing your consciousness towards the Lord.
Mm,
Bad habits.
yeah, bad habits will not come. Okay.
You are forced to do sometimes what you are not supposed to do for Krishna consciousness.
Correct. Thank you. Uh,
Thank you, Prabhu.
yeah, who else out there? Okay, Sharad Prabhu. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. So we are giving our time as a sacrifice in reading, hearing, uh,
Good.
to knowing about the Lord. So
Yes.
that's one of the sacrifice.
Yeah. So that will remind us also, and also that will help us learn more. Good. Okay. Mataji, you have another point? Srimati Vasudha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. We should avoid outside food also compulsory, na, Prabhu.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So that will be karmic also, karmic problem, and yeah, one may get attracted to some other things also. Okay, thank you. Okay, third one, anyone wants to tell? It's not compulsory. Somebody wants to tell, they can tell. Or- Hmm. Okay, we will then. Okay. Yes, Mataji, you want to tell
Hare
something?
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, devotional service is also a big challenging now, Prabhu. Every day, day-to-day life, we sacrifice many things now, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Because our spiritual advancement, we sacrifice many things, Prabhu, day-to-day life.
Yeah. Yes.
Like early waking,
Yeah.
avoid this,
Yeah.
foods, everything.
Yeah. 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 So we sacrifice. No, I'm asking about third one. Like somebody personally, they thought that no, if I sacrifice more, or if then I can advance more. Somebody like
Sleep, Prabhuji.
thought about something.
Sleep can be given up.
Okay, okay.
Sleep we should have.
Yeah. Okay. Take care. Welcome to Bihari Pro. You want to tell something?
I was telling that sleep, we can avoid sleeping more time, or sometimes we sleep in the afternoon also. We should avoid sleeping in the
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Fine. That's good. I'd say you can tell personally about yourself instead of yes. Thank you.
myself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you.
I am a
Yes.
neophyte devotee, Prabhuji.
No, 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 no. No, no. Means that's a good etiquette. Means the question is more about personal thing. That's fine. Okay. Okay, Sharad Pro, you can. Okay, let me remove the spotlight. Okay. We'll read a little bit of the next purport and we'll close for today. Sharad Pro, you can repeat, you can recite after me. Agnenaya Suttaraye Asman
अग्नेनय सुपतराय अस्मान्
Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan
विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान्
Yodhya Asmad Jhur Anam Eno
युयोत्तस्मर्जुहुराने मेनो
Bhuishtam Te Nama Uktim Vidhema.
भूयिष्ठां ते नम उक्तिं विधेम.
Okay. So the translation is, O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisances, falling on the ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins so that there will be no hindrance to my progress. So again, this is a Jnani, means the Upanishads are generally meant for the those who practice Jnana Yoga and Jnana Mishra Bhakti kind of thing. So a Jnani at the time of death, he is becoming anxious that he wants to attain liberation, but because of his sins, he's afraid that he may have to take another birth. So that is the context in which he is offering this kind of prayer. Please remember, please remove all my past sinful reactions. Like that, he is praying to Lord. Means he knows about Bhagavan, and he has knows that Bhagavan can only remove his sinful reactions, but he doesn't have the faith, or he doesn't have that understanding that if I do bhakti to Bhagavan, then Bhagavan will automatically do all these things. I need not ask Bhagavan these things. So that is, he is not aware of that, Jnani. But a Bhakta knows the promise of the Lord. No? Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vaja ham tvam sarvapapebhyo moksha ishyami masucha. So Lord, devotee knows these things. So devotee just focus on his service to the Lord and taking shelter of the Lord. And he does not ask Lord these things, like these things. Okay. Yes, bro, you can read the purport by surrendering to the Lord.
By surrendering to the Lord and praying for His causeless mercy, the devotee can progress on the path of complete self-realization. The Lord is addressed as fire because He can burn anything into ashes, including the sins of the surrendered soul.
Yeah, so there is a verse about how much Lord can destroy the sins. Nam nohi yavati shakti papa nirharanam harer tavat kartum na shaknoti patakam pataki naraha. Yeah, so the verse basically is saying one cannot commit so much sin that which Lord cannot remove. which the holy name cannot remove in this particular verse. This means that by once chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from the reactions of more sins than he can even imagine performing. The holy name is so spiritually potent that simply by chanting the holy name, one can be freed from the reactions to all sinful activities. Okay. Yes, bro, you can continue as described in the previous mantras.
As described in the previous mantras, the real or ultimate aspect of the Absolute is his feature as the personality of Godhead, and his impersonal Brahmajyoti feature is a dazzling covering over his face. Fruitive activities or the karma kand, path of self-realization, is the lower stage in this endeavor. As soon as such activities even slightly deviate from the regulative principle of the Vedas, they are transformed into vikarma or act against the interest of the actor. Such vikarma is enacted by the illusioned living entity simply for sense gratification, and thus such activities become hindrances on the path of self realization. Self realization is possible in the human form of life, but not in other forms. There are 8.4 million species of forms of life, of which the human form qualified by Brahminical culture presents the only chance to obtain knowledge of transcendence. Brahminical culture includes truthfulness, sense control, forbearance, simplicity, full knowledge, and full faith in God. It is not that one simply becomes proud of his high parentage. Just as being born the son of a big man affords one a chance to become a big man. So being born the son of a Brahmana gives one a chance to become a Brahmana. But such a birthright is not everything, for one still has to attain the Brahminical qualifications for himself. As soon as one becomes proud of his birth as the son of a Brahmana and neglects to acquire the qualifications of a real Brahmana, he at once becomes degraded and falls from the path of self-realization. Thus, his life's mission as human being is defeated.
Yeah, so here basically Prabhupada is saying, see, because the Jnana Yogi in this no verse is praying that, no, please forgive me from all the sins I committed in the past. So Prabhupada is saying that if one takes to Karma Kanda, there is a chance one may commit sins by mistake. So, like if we see if somebody is performing Ashwamedh Yajna and it does not, if some small mistake comes and the offering is not taken by the demigods, and if the horse that is killed did not get a new life, so then the sacrifice is failed. So then all the reaction will come to everyone who performed, who started, who initiated the sacrifice, the brahmanas and all. They have to suffer. So like that, that's why Prabhupada is saying karma kanda means it will result in some way some sinful reactions. So religion, it's basically about mixed religion. So even Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras also may perform religion, but it's likely possible that they may perform religion for material purposes, which is in one sense, broad sense, can be called as karma kand. But religion performed for liberation or for attaining transcendence, that is, that you can say spirituality. So generally Brahmanas, also one of the qualities of Brahmanas is astikyam, which means they are spiritually focused. So that's why Prabhupada is talking about Brahminical culture in this verse. So it includes truthfulness, sense control, forbearance, simplicity, full knowledge, and full faith in God. So full faith means not just they know about God or they accept God, they are attracted to God. That is faith. Shraddha actually means attraction also, or interested in God. So, yeah, if you see this all Brahminical culture, it is there. Like if you follow the lifestyle given by Prabhupada, we develop these things, sense control, forbearance, simplicity, all these things. And that will help us also in practice of spirituality. And Prabhupada is saying that just being born as the son of a Brahmana does not imply that one has all these qualities. One has to acquire these qualities. But being born in the Brahmana family, it will become easy for them to acquire these qualities. Yeah. So if one does not endeavor to acquire these qualities, then one may degrade themselves and may not achieve the purpose of life. Okay, Prabhu, can you read in the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, Guruji. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.41 to 42, we are assured by the Lord that the yoga brashta, or souls fallen from the path of self-realization, are given a chance to rectify themselves by taking birth either in the families of good Brahmanas or in the families of rich merchants. Such births afford higher chances for self-realization. If these chances are misused due to illusion, one loses the good opportunity of human life afforded by the Almighty Lord.
Yeah. Prabhupada is just complementing it with the reference from Bhagavad Gita. So if one is born in a Brahmana family, means it's likely that one must have performed some spirituality in the previous life. So that's why they are awarded this thing. So one should use it. Otherwise, they will lose it. Okay, you can read this last paragraph, the regulative principles.
The regulative principles are such that one who follows them in promoted from the platform of fruitive activities to the platform of transcendental knowledge. After many lifetimes of cultivating transcendental knowledge, one becomes perfect when he surrenders unto the Lord. This is the general procedure. But one who surrenders at the very beginning, as recommended in this mantra, at once surpasses all preliminary stages simply by adopting the devotional attitude. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 18.66, the Lord at once takes charge of such a surrendered soul and frees him from all the reactions to his sinful acts. There are many sinful reactions involved in karma kand activities, whereas in Jnana kand, the path of philosophical development, the number of such sinful activities is smaller. But in devotional service to the Lord, the path of bhakti, there is practically no chance of incurring sinful reactions because the devotee of the Lord attains all good qualifications of the Lord Himself. What to speak of those of a Brahmana? A devotee automatically attains the qualification of an expert Brahmana authorized to perform sacrifices. Even though the devotee may not have taken his birth in a Brahmana family, such is the omnipotence of the Lord. He can make a man born in a Brahmana family as degraded as low-born dog eater, and he can also make a low-born dog eater superior to a qualified Brahmana simply on the strength of devotional service.
Yeah. So here Prabhupada is talking about regulative principles, means he is referring to Varna Ashrama. So one follows the Varna and Ashrama properly, then one will get slowly elevated. So let's say if somebody is a Vaishya, he follows all the Grihastha responsibilities properly, he conducts his business ethically and he donates charity and all, then he will be promoted in next life or subsequent life to Kshatriya. Then Kshatriya obeys the Brahmanas properly and does his administrative responsibilities properly, then slowly he will be promoted to a Brahmana. Brahmana, generally one will get that astikyam, no? Faith in transcendence, faith in God, etc., interest. This is the general thing. It's not like this is how it should happen. So there are devotees in Kshatriyas. There is also example of Janaka who attained perfection in Karma Yoga as a Kshatriya. So then he performs the Varnashram as a Brahmana. Then he gets purified in the heart. So that is he performs Nishkama Karma Yoga. So because of that, he gets purified of the sinful reactions and sinful tendencies. Then he will start Jnana Yoga. When after Vanaprastha, he takes sannyas and he starts performing Jnana Yoga. So then Jnana Yoga, because he has renounced the world, so the chance of committing a sin are very less. So that's what like Prabhupada is saying, that in the cult one becomes perfect, yeah, after many lifetimes. Yeah. there are many sinful reactions involved in the karma kanda activities. Whereas in jnana kanda, the path of philosophical development, the number of such sinful activities is smaller. So this is how it, and then from jnana yoga, he may want, if he is attracted to Brahman, then he may go for that, or then he may then again practice dhyana yoga and go for Paramatma or like that. Some at last, sometimes he may come even to bhakti yoga like that. But Prabhupada is saying that if somebody directly surrenders to the Lord, so in this verse, like the particular Jnana Mishra Bhakta or something, he's offering prayer to the Lord. See, offering prayer is one of the limbs, like Vandanam we saw in the previous purport. That's like bhakti. So if one takes to devotional service, then Lord takes care of it. So it's this verse is there in Bhagavad Gita. Teshaham samardatta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat parda maya vaisata chetasam. So the Lord will automatically take care. And here is Prabhupada is making this a very putting it in a very nice way that if somebody is a Brahmana, but if he does not follow it, then he may become a dog eater. But if somebody is a dog eater, but if he is taking to devotional service, then Lord may elevate him more than a Brahmin. You might have seen this picture, which is a famous picture. Let me try to search it. Yeah, so this is the famous picture of that. Okay, it's small. But yeah, this is the picture which signifies that Lord takes care of the devotee. Means Lord lifts the devotee. If he performs devotional service, he need not be worried about how to deliver himself. Okay, so now very less is remaining. So we'll continue in the next class and we will also revise what we covered in the Ishopanishads. And yeah. Next class also we may finish fast like this. And OBS, you can send if you have finished OBA, like either if you are typing, then you can make them into PDF and merge both PDFs for both question answers, and you can send it to Shrikant Pro. He will also post message. He will tell his mail ID. Or if you are writing by pen, by hand, then you can scan them and again merge both the scanned PDFs and send it. Of course, next Saturday, by next Saturday, you can send. And please remember also OBA has very much high percentage, 65% of the marks are only of OBA. So do it best. Try to give your best, try to do your best. Don't do it in a hurry up way or just don't do some half-hearted job. So it will also help you in preparing for CBA and all. So CBA is there on next Sunday. Okay, any questions on what we discussed till now, till today, in today?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I cannot convert that PDF and all. I don't know anything about this technical part.
You can take help of somebody, or like you want to write by hand, or
Actually, somebody is going to write on behalf of me. I told you in the beginning only, I can't write.
oh yeah, yeah. So Pro, you can take help of that same devotee, like same means this is a like somebody who is like not dealing with some technology, like somebody from IT or somebody, no, they will know these things. So you can try, means you can try.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can let us know.
Close book, Prabhuji, next Sunday close book is there.
Yeah, next Sunday close book is there.
So early, Prabhuji.
No, we have to proceed next. We are completing this on Saturday.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, Yashraj Prabhu has question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So first question, my first question is regarding the tomorrow. So tomorrow is Rath Yatra. So
Yeah, tomorrow
is there,
class is not there. Tomorrow class is
okay,
not there.
yeah. And Prabhuji, as you said, in the Varnashram system, one person is progressed from Shudra to Vaishya, Vaishya to Kshatriya, and Kshatriya to Brahmana. But in the Shastra, there is a lots of example, the people who born in a low born family, but after that they will directly go to back to Godhead in their same life.
See, that's what in the case of devotional service there is an exception. See, Bhagavatam is not a book about Varnashram. Bhagavatam is a book about devotional service. So, to illustrate the potency of devotional service, those examples are given. Means that is an aspect of devotional service that is irrespective of whether one is of lower caste like Shudra or Shudra or even lower, those who are like Malichas, Yavanas, they can be elevated directly to a Vaishnava. So for that, those examples are given. But that doesn't illustrate the general trend or the general situation in the society, in the Vedic society. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Okay. So.
Haribol Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
We for open book, if we WhatsApp you chalega कि you have to mail?
If you mail, it will be good. You can mail to Shrikant Prabhu.
But I don't have an email. My daughter has an email.
Yeah, you can even tell. You can do from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other? Okay. Take a will close for. Yes.
Book examination contain what kind of questions?
Close book, Prabhuji, we have shared in WhatsApp that handbook.
Yeah.
So that handbook has some questions for Ishopnishad.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
So if you can answer those questions, means that from them 60% will come, and others from Prabhupada purports will come.
I am currently Prabhuji 56, 57. Now I will try my level best.
Means you can try your best. Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I can talk about the things, but the writing and all that.
Means you can definitely, means that permission we have taken, you can take help of somebody and do.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
that is you can try your best, means.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. Like if you want, you can take a hard copy of the handbook, if that is easy for you to prepare and do. You can take from BVRV. They will give you printout. Hard copy of the handbook.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I'll take and I'll study from that.
Yeah, that will be maybe easy for you. Okay, thank you very much. So for today, for your attention, and Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ishopnishad ki jai. Thank you. So tomorrow we don't have class. Yes, Prabhu, Shrikant, Prabhu, you have a question. Hare Krishna.
Muted.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, that open book exam, it is oral or closed book?
The closed book exam is written.
Written, but we have to come there or
that will be easy. Otherwise, you have to have 2 cameras in online and all.
Yes.
It is 2 cameras. For shloka recitation, we could manage because of closing eyes and all. That is an adjustment, but closed book exam, it is mandatory to have 2 cameras.
Okay, then we have to come to NVCC.
Yeah.
NVCC?
Yeah, NVCC. Timing we will maybe inform in some time. We may take a poll and inform or something. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. We'll close for today.